Okay, uh, let's start on our backs. So go ahead and lower yourself down onto your backside. Keep your knees bent at first with your feet on the ground. And if you have a troublesome low back like me, you might widen the feet to be as wide as a mat or wider than your hips. And then let the knees fall in towards each other so that they're kind of resting. And you might have to shift around a little bit so you find the spot where it feels like your bones are holding you in place, not your muscles of your legs. Good. And then push into your feet, lift your hips a little bit and wiggle them around, or just let the weight come into your mind. And then set your hips back down on the ground nice and gently. Maybe do the same thing with your shoulders, pull them up off the ground, and then gently roll them down your spine a little bit behind you. And then option to take your head in your hands, gently, gently lift your skull off the ground. And then very slowly and with lots and lots of support, lower your head back onto the ground. And then release your arms down by your sides. Now, you could do arms long in a Y or a T shape with the palms facing up, or you might choose one hand on your belly and one hand somewhere on your chest, especially if you're having trouble coming home to your body or grounding. This can be a really good option to give you lots of tactile sensation in the body and the hands. Looking straight ahead of you, pick something on the ceiling or in the sky that's not moving where you can stare, and then lock your eyes on that point, but soften the muscles around your eyelids and your eyebrows and your jaw. Let your gaze go a little blurry, just fixed in that direction. You might soften your eyelids a little bit or a lot. They could even shut. Get a little slack in your jaw, maybe swallow, let your tongue fall off the roof of your mouth. Consciously relax the muscles in the side of your neck and in the tops of your shoulders. And mentally separate yourself from what you were doing just now so you can become fully here now in what you are doing, which is just laying on the ground. We'll start with grounding and centering using all of the senses. So even if your eyes are shut, just notice everything that you see in your field of vision right now. Notice generalities like shapes and colors. Notice the lights and the shadows. Notice the floor and the walls and the ceiling. Notice where the doors and windows are in relation to your body. Notice where the other people or objects are in relation to your body. Notice all the noises in the space besides my voice. And remember that as we approach a more parasympathetic or more relaxed state of being through the rest of this class, the hearing is that one sense that never really shuts off. Even when you're in a deep sleep, the hearing is on, searching in the environment. So it's normal to quickly notice distraction by noise. Try to remind yourself as often as it happens that there's nothing you need to do about those noises, and just acknowledge they're there and keep bringing your awareness back to your body over and over. And I'll guide you through the way. Bring attention just to your own personal bubble of space now. See if you can get a sense of where air is touching your skin versus where clothing is covering your skin. It might be obvious. There might be a big temperature difference, or you might feel a texture. Maybe it's more subtle. Notice the weight of your body on the floor. Notice everything touching the ground, the bottoms of your feet, your legs, your hips and buttocks, parts of your back and your arms, back of your head. Notice where you feel the heaviest right now. There's nothing good or bad about it. It's just something to notice. And then notice the parts of your body that are moving as you're breathing. And don't change anything yet. There's a tendency to change the breath just by noticing, and that's okay. But see if you can let the breath be passive and normal and not forced. Notice if that breath feels kind of smooth or kind of choppy today. Does it feel more quick or more slow? Is it easy or labored? Some folks even notice a color to their breath or a texture. Breath is tied to our emotions as well. Notice if there's a certain feeling or emotion that you've brought to class with you today. And remind yourself that the point of practicing yoga isn't to fix anything because you're not broken. The point is to practice being aware and present with what is. So, through the rest of this class, I'm going to guide you with prompts that bring your attention back to your body and your breath over and over and over. Not to bring judgment, just to bring awareness to how the body and the breath are feeling in this moment. And now, if you wish, you could start elongating your breathing. You might imagine your belly's like a balloon, and when you breathe in, the balloon gets bigger. And when you exhale, the balloon deflates. Tummy comes back down towards the spine as you empty out. Do that a few more times. Through the nose will allow the breath to warm up and slow down. But if you're stuffy, you could always breathe through the mouth as necessary. You might pretend you're blowing out like a straw. That will also help slow down the air. Do this a few more times, just breathing in and out a little longer and slower and deeper than you normally do. Distractions will come and go, thoughts and noises and feelings. Each time one appears in your mind, just notice the distraction and bring your awareness back to your breath and your body. Two more like that. Good. Finish the breath that you're on. And then release your control and notice anything left over so far from your practice. That took about 5 minutes. Notice if it feels like it's been longer or shorter. Remember the weight of your body on the floor. Blink your eyes open if you haven't already, keeping in mind that the lights sometimes look a little different when you come out of that kind of practice, so to speak. So notice the quality of the light again. Notice if the shadows have moved. Notice if it seems brighter or dimmer to you. Good. And we'll start really gentle movement from here. So reposition your feet so they're more in line with your hips and your knees are pointing up towards the sky. Relax the muscles in your neck and your shoulders. And if your hands are on your body, let them fall now to the sides of you onto the floor. And you can do palms face up or face down. It really doesn't matter which one you choose. Good. First, just identify both of your feet and both knees. And then next time you breathe in, lift one leg and then the other so the feet are up off the floor, but the knees are close enough that you might touch them. And some people like to just grab their pants or the outsides of the knees, but give yourself a little bit of a squeeze here, still reaching the tail and the back of your head and your shoulders onto the ground underneath you. Some people like to be still, or some like to rock. I like to go side to side, but forward and back is an option too. Anything that feels intuitive or natural or necessary is a good idea, even if it's something I'm not mentioning. And if you're moving, come to stillness. Release your hands from your legs and let your feet come up towards the ground. And you can keep your knees really bent and the feet kind of like passive, or you could work harder and really stretch through the backs of the legs and push through the heels, pull your toes back towards your body. Relax your arms and your neck still. Use your belly, push your low back into the ground to help you here. And then bend your knees again. And we're going to do that a few more times, now syncing up with the breath. So inhale, reach your feet up, and exhale, down. 2 more like that. Just see if you can match your movement up with your breathing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Something close to matching. Okay, we're going to keep going this time using the arms too. So inhale, bring the arms and the feet up. And exhale, lower down. 2 more like that. You can take a break at any time. You could do one side at a time. Make it your practice. Go at your pace. Good. Inhale, lift everything up one more time. And this time, let's activate a little bit more. So really reach through the heels of the feet, pull your toes back towards your body. Knees can stay as bent or long as you wish. And reach through the fingertips. You might even kind of squeeze your fingertips together like you have Barbie hands. Reach your shoulders up off the ground like you're going to reach up higher towards the sky. One more inhale here, as long and strong as you can. And then exhale, bend your knees, pull everything back for a hug. Grab your pants or your knees, and maybe give yourself another rock here. Okay, come to stillness. Notice your left foot and put your left foot back on the ground. Switch your grip with your hands so you're either grabbing your pants or the back of your right thigh, and just your right foot is extended up. And then, as big of a range of motion as you can manage, do some ankle rolls here. Go one direction a couple times. And then pause and go the other way too. Good. Keep your hands where they are. Bend your knee and then straighten. Bend and straighten just a couple times here. You might notice some snap, crackle, pop. That's normal. Next time your knee is bent, gently put your right foot back on the floor and then bring your left knee back. Grab your pants or the back of your thigh so you can extend through the left foot. And then big range of motion on this side. Move slower than you think. Really try to trace as big of a circle as your ankle will allow. Noticing the difference in this side. Remember, no two bodies the same, no two sides of one body the same. Pause and draw the circles the other way. And just notice the difference. And then stop drawing your circles and bend and straighten a few times. You can let your hands support you a little or a lot here. Next time your foot is down towards the ground, go ahead and lower it all the way back. Good. We're going to do kind of the same thing with the arms. So reach the arms up towards the sky, fold your thumbs in towards your palms, and then wrap the rest of your fingers around your thumbs and draw circles. You can do one at a time or both at the same time. Be wary of pulling too hard on the tendons and the thumbs. You can always readjust if you're feeling something cranky. And once you draw a few one way, pause and draw them the other way. Notice if you forgot that you're breathing. You have been this whole time. See if you can focus on Ardha Drishti, half attention, half on your body, half on your breath. Good. Interlace all of your fingers to make one big fist, and then straighten your arms and lift your shoulders up off the ground, and then lower them down. Press them into the floor when they come down, like you're trying to pinch them behind you. You might even feel a little bit of a lift of the spine off the ground. Let's do that again. Pulling them forward, round between the shoulders, and then exhale, reaching them back and squeezing the shoulders behind you. One more like that. Good. Release your fist and then bend and straighten your elbows a few more times. Moving like this rhythmically will help stimulate the secretion of synovial fluid. It's basically the lubrication in the joints. So we're just trying to free up the body by moving it in a rhythmic and gentle way. Good. And then relax your arms down by your sides or on your body again. Elongate your legs if it feels okay in your low back. And notice anything that's left over so far. It might be in the way your body feels. It might be in your breathing. It might be in the way you're thinking. Good. Bend your knees again. And bring your knees up just high enough that you can put your palms on your knees. And you can leave your legs separated or you can pull them together. I like together. And you're going to kind of stir by drawing a big circle with the knees now. So they're going to come back and towards the belly and then over to one side and then pull further away from your body and over towards the other side. Big circle drawing with the knees now. Again, try to match up your movement with your breathing. See what happens first if you inhale as the knees come away from the body and exhale as the knees come close. And then pause, go the other direction, and switch your breathing. So now you're inhaling as the knees come close and you're exhaling as the knees go far away. Once you've done the same amount of circles on each side, come to stillness. Give yourself a really tight hug with both of your arms. Try to relax your neck and your shoulders. Just let your hands do most of the pulling. and then gently place your feet back on the floor. Okay, so we're going to do a gentle twist from here. There's two different ways to do it. If you have a cranky low back, or if you just don't feel like moving today, I would recommend feet on the ground and you just windshield wiper the knees back and forth. This might be a lot, it might be enough. If you want the sensation or the movement to be bigger, all you need to do is lift your feet off the ground and let both legs go to one side and then the other. It can bring the sensations more into the low back and the outside of the hips too. So it might change how it feels, not just how it looks. See if you can still relax your face and the center of your chest. Next time your knees fall over to the left side, leave them there and let them get very heavy. Reach your right shoulder for the ground. You might open up your right arm towards the side so you're reaching away from your legs. If your neck's okay with it, you could look away from your legs. As best you can, soften through the middle of your body. Ardha Drishti, half attention on your breath, half attention on where you notice sensation in the physical part of your body. Notice where your breath has to go as you compress through the center of you like this. Good. Bring your head back to the center first if you were looking away, and then use your core. Inhale, bring everything back to the middle. Arm comes back. Exhale, other side. So let the legs come over towards the right, let them get super heavy, and let them stay. Reaching the left shoulder towards the ground. You might even imagine the shoulder and the knees pulling away from each other, getting longer in the side of your body. If you want more, you could reach your opposite arm away, or you can look away. Soften. Just breathe and notice. One more breath. Good. And then bring your head back to the center first. Let the center of your body help you as you inhale. Bring your legs back to the middle. Maybe one more gentle hug here with both knees back towards the body. And then carefully put your feet back on the ground. And we're going to come to sit. So before you do that, imagine how you would get up. Which direction would you go, or would you roll? And then if you're going to go to one direction or the other, I would maybe challenge you in a way to go the opposite way. So if you habitually go to the right, see if you can get up by going to the left. I bet you can. You just have to move slower. Then use as little effort as possible. Push yourself up to a seated feeling. And you can sit on a cushion or on your butt on the floor. You can sit on a book, like anything that elevates the hips a little bit to the line or above the knees will help them open a little easier. It should be easier on the low back. Good. So at first, just sit in a way that feels the most instinctual. And I won't say comfortable because it may not feel great, but the least amount of work. So readjust your shoulders. See if you can stack your shoulders on top of your hips and stack your head on top of your spine. So again, the bones are doing most of the work. Maybe the pelvis and the belly are pulling in and up very gently to help support the low spine here, but the arms are heavy, elbows are bent, hands are resting on your knees. Good. If you need to feel a little more grounded and centered and controlled or closed off from the world today, palms face down is a great option. If you need to feel a little more active and awake and open to the world around you, palms face up might be a good option. And there's always one of each. Just readjust to the new feelings of how gravity is interacting with your body here. Notice that sensation of all the fluids of your body being pulled down directionally towards the lower part of the body now instead of just the back part of the body. Readjust to the noises around you and the lights and the shadows. And notice your breath here as a 360-degree experience. How does it feel to breathe in the back part of your body now that nothing is pressing against it? Remember that the lungs physiologically are bigger in the back half of your body. So now that they have space and freedom, really inhale to fill up the back part of your lungs. And exhale, watch them recede back to the spine. Good. 2 more like that. Good. Come back to stillness in the center, and I'll offer more movement from here if you wish, or you can always stay. So both hands, palms down on the knees. You can keep the eyes shut or open. That's totally up to you. A little bit of cat-cow, just undulation of the spine forward and back now that we've already done the limbs. So when you inhale, bring your chest forward, belly forward. Maybe your nose goes forward or slightly up. Exhale, really round the shoulders more than you tuck your tail. Pull your belly button in towards your spine and let your chin drop. Head is heavy here. Back and forth now. Inhaling, cow pose. Squeeze your muscles. Squeeze the shoulders towards the hips. Exhale, rounded shape, like a black cat on Halloween. See how round your body can let you get. Couple back and forth from here. Keep your neck long the whole time. One of my favorite cues from my favorite teacher was to imagine that the top of my head was leading the motion. See what happens if you pretend that your head is part of your spine and actually leading the spinal movements. How does that change things, if at all? Maybe one more. Take your time. And when you're ready, meet me in a neutral position. So again, shoulders stacked on top of the hips, head stacked on top of the spine. Bring your hands behind you just for support so they touch the ground, and then let your left leg go long. Take your right knee on top of your right thigh or near the right thigh. So either touching the inside or on top. Either is fine. So the knees coming out to the right. Let yourself stack again so you feel super tall with your head on top, and pretend your torso is like a spoon in a bowl. And now you're going to stir the bowl. Really big circles, one direction first. You could have fingertips on the floor on the sides of your body for extra support, or you could have hands on your legs or at your chest. And after you go a few times one direction, stop and then go the other direction too. Pause just long enough that you can carefully switch legs. So the right leg will go long now. Left foot either touching the inside of your right thigh or stacked on top. And again, circles one direction and then the other. See what happens if in your long leg you act like you're taking a step. So you push through the heel and you pull the toes back towards your body. Pause and go the other direction too if you haven't already. Ardha Drishti. Half attention on the breath, half attention on the body. and come to stillness. Good. Bring both of the soles of the feet together so the knees can come more wide. And it really depends on the structure in the hip sockets. Your knees might be super high or really far out towards the floor. It doesn't matter. We're not focusing right now on changing the outside of the hips. Just focus on touching your legs somewhere where you still feel long. So for some bodies, that's the toes. For me, that makes me feel like I'm rounding already. So I like to grab the ankles. You could also grab the knees. So find something that makes you feel tall. And you might imagine pushing the feet into each other so the knees can come out to the sides. Look straight ahead of yourself and slightly down. Tuck your chin down and back so you get longer in the back of the neck and through the crown of your head. And then if you want, you can get a really good grip on whatever you're touching, and you can almost pull your chest forward into more of a tall spine. Belly still in and up for support. Soften the muscles in your forehead and your jaw and the sides of your neck, and notice what you notice. Option to stay or to tuck your chin down towards your chest. Option to stay or to gently scrape your chin towards one shoulder and then the other. Come to stillness if you're moving. Inhale, roll yourself up to a tall spine again. And now we'll do a forward fold. There's two different kinds you can do with a round spine or a long spine. So if you want to choose a long spine, especially if you have low back pain, you could pull in and up really vigorously with the belly and the pelvis to keep the low back supported, and then just bring the fingertips to in front of your legs. And then to any extent, you could walk forward. As long as you feel long from the crown of your head through the tail, you could go as forward as you wanted. Other option is to try the rounded version, where you obviously let the top of your spine round. And I guess, in a picture of a person who's been doing this 200 years, the crown of your head would touch the middle of the soles of your feet. So it's a really round, like a turtle shell kind of feeling. And if you're going to pull, that's fine, but let the elbows come out to the sides instead of straight back towards your body, or they'll poke your belly and get in your way. Whatever you chose, stay and settle in. Notice what you're thinking. For some reason, when I teach this pose, it seems to spark competitiveness, even with one's self. So notice if you're thinking or talking to yourself about how it should look or feel or what that means about you as a person. And instead, just notice the sensations in your body. Where's the sensation? Characterize it. Is it sharp? Is it dull? Is it zippy? Is it cold? Is it hot? None of those are good or bad. Two more breaths here. And then use a lot of support with your hands. Roll yourself back up to a tall spine. Let your head come last. Hands on the outsides of your knees. Close your legs like a book. And once again, sit in a comfortable-ish position where the legs can literally be in any shape that works for you. So that could be cross-legged or sitting on your heels with your toes like smushed onto the floor. Good. Let's do some really gentle head, neck, and shoulders before we lay back down. So looking forward, try to move only the shoulders. Pull them forward as far as you can, and then up as high as you can. Squeeze them back behind you as tight as you can, and then down, sliding down the spine. Good. Huge shoulder roll. Inhaling forward and up. Exhaling forward or back and down, excuse me. Follow that pattern. Match up your movement and your breath as best you can. Remembering it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look or feel any certain way. It just is. And when you get back to the bottom, pause, and now try them the opposite way too. Inhaling back and up, exhaling forward and down. It might feel kind of counterintuitive. Just notice any resistance, either in the muscular body or in the way the breath is working. Keep smoothing out your forehead. Keep loosening the jaw. Keep breathing. Yeah. And remember, yawning is good. Come back to stillness. Looking straight ahead. Next time you exhale, just let the right ear come towards the right shoulder. So it's just the weight of the head tilting over. Keep the shoulders down and heavy. Some bodies like to just stay here. Some bodies might like to kind of reach the arms down towards the floor to like pull the shoulders more. Some bodies like to apply a little bit of pressure, same arm, same side, and don't push, but just apply contact to the ear and the temple. It can feel like a lot. You could also push your head into your hand. Notice what that feels like. Good. If you're applying pressure, really slowly release the pressure and then lower your arm if it was lifted, and inhale your head all the way back to the center, and exhale other side at your own cadence. So maybe you're reaching the opposite arm down towards the floor now. It might be a lot. You could always bend the elbow or straighten it or do palm up or palm down. If you tried hand touching the head on the other side, maybe try it on this side. Being mindful that the two sides of the neck are normally very different. That's typical, not abnormal. Ardha Drishti, half attention on your breath, half attention on your body. Very, very gently release the pressure until it's zero, and then lower your hand if it was raised and inhale back to the center. Good. Hands on your knees. Next time you exhale, look to one side. So just turn your face towards one wall or one direction. Option to be still or to draw circles with your nose above that shoulder. They could be small or big, just move slowly. And then pause and draw them the other direction too. When you're ready, inhale through the center. And then when you start to exhale, go to the other side. Notice the difference. Not changing anything, only comparing the two sides to build awareness of what's present in your body, not to judge which side is better or worse. Part of practicing yoga is coming to grips with the fact that we are constantly in flux. And go the other direction too. When you've done about the same amount of circles on that side, inhale yourself back to the center. Exhale, chin down towards your chest one more time. This time, I would offer to bring your hands either to your temples or to the fronts of your face to cover the eyes to make it a little darker for you. And really hold the weight of your head into your hands. You might stay here. You might fold forward in a way that makes you feel round between the shoulders and or supported in the front of the body. Good. Stay or roll yourself all the way up to a tall seat, moving mindfully and slowly as you go. Good. And then simply let your legs come out ahead of you. Bring your arms back behind you again and lower yourself back onto your backside. Let the legs go long, maybe just for the next couple minutes. We're going to practice a body scan meditation, which is a quick 5-minute meditation to help cultivate awareness of one's own body. It's especially helpful if you feel disembodied or disempowered in your body, or just unable to connect with your body and your feelings. Sometimes it's confusing. We have this map of our body in our mind, and that can get smudged, so to speak, by stress and trauma and really active lifestyles and all kinds of different things. So let's come home, so to speak, with this really easy practice. Of course, if you want to do something different, like a prayer or an affirmation or something you're working with, this is a really good time to incorporate that while you're in this relaxation and reintegration pose. So legs are long, arms are long, probably palms up towards the sky or the ceiling. That's more anatomically neutral for most of us. Maybe the pinkies are more slightly towards the ground. Maybe you roll your shoulders down away from your ears again, especially if you're like my body and tension seems to just hold there for no reason. Let the head be super heavy, hips are heavy, smooth out your face again, and pick a spot on the ceiling or at the sky, something that's not moving, where you can fix your gaze as you then consciously relax the muscles around your eyebrows and your eyelids and your jaw. Good. So if you're choosing to follow along with me, I'll just name a part of your body one after the other, and you bring your attention as best you can to that part of your body. And then we'll move to the next. We'll do the whole body and then sense the whole body at one time. And that's how you know the part of that practice is over. So bring all of your awareness and attention now just to the tips of your toes. You don't have to move them or find anything in particular. Just notice what's there or not there in your toes. Notice the bottoms of your feet. Notice the tops of your feet. Notice your ankles. Notice your lower legs. Notice your knees, the outside and the inside. Notice your upper legs. Notice your hips. Notice your pelvis. Notice your buttocks. Notice your low back. Notice your low belly. Notice sides of your waist. Notice your chest. Notice your upper back. Notice your armpits. Notice your shoulders. Notice your upper arms. Notice your elbows. Notice your lower arms. Notice your wrists, backs of your hands, palms of your hands. Notice all of your fingertips. Notice the spaces between your fingertips. Notice the front of your throat. Notice the back of your neck. Notice back of your head. Notice top of your head. Notice your forehead. Notice your temples. Notice your ears. Notice your cheeks. Notice your jaw. Notice your chin. Notice your lips. Notice your teeth. Notice your tongue. Notice your nose. Notice your right eyelid. Notice your left eyelid. Notice your right eyebrow. Notice your left eyebrow. Notice the space between your eyebrows. Now that you've scanned your whole body one piece at a time, take a step back in your mind and sense your whole system together as one big piece. Whole body together. Whole body together. Whole body together. Good. Now let go of that. Bring attention back to the parts of your body that are touching the ground. Notice any sensations throughout your body, like urges or emotions, leftover sensations. Give yourself a moment to not act, but to notice deeper. What's present with you now? If you find an emotion and it feels really strong or too intense, notice the edges of the emotion instead. See if you can mentally soften there. Whatever emotion you do find, notice where you feel that the most in your body. Option to keep your awareness on that part of your body or to physically bring a hand to place on top of that part of your body. And again, see if you can soften here. There's nothing about it that needs to be changed. Whatever you're feeling is part of being a human. And that part of you is welcome here, just like all the other parts. Notice as you stay and breathe. Notice if the emotion or sensation changes as you stay, either in intensity or location. And I encourage you to give yourself or cultivate an imagination of what it would feel like to feel compassionate for yourself. How human of you to feel. Allow yourself presence and grace and time to process. Good. Bring your attention back to your breath. Gently start to wiggle your fingers and your toes to let your body wake back up slightly. Before you get up or move, just remember the room that you're in. Remember the objects and the floor and the walls. Remember the lights and the shadows and the colors. Bend both of your knees, put your feet back on the floor. Maybe give a little press again into the ground. We'll end class in a seat, but one more time, I would encourage you to notice which way you might go by default to get up and see if you can get up the other way or a different way. Use as little effort as possible until you're back in a tall feeling seat. Legs in your choice, on a cushion, on the floor, whatever. Look for length from your tail all the way through the crown of your head. If you need to roll your shoulders again, you can. And I'll invite you to bring your hands together, either in a prayer position with your thumbs touching the center of your chest, or you can stack your hands on your heart or anything that feels natural or necessary to you. And look down or bow down towards your heart and your hands. And this motion is in gratitude of yourself. So, as best you can, give yourself a sincere thank you just for showing up for yourself and carving out time. And remember, you have a body, but you're not just your body. You have a mind, but you're not just your thoughts. And you have emotions, but you're not just your feelings. When you're ready, let your eyes flutter open and up. Your hands can release. Class is over.